Hi, Jack Foley here from individualtrader.net. And yeah, I just want to go through a trade that we put on in the portfolio there last week. It was in Marathon Oil, the exploration company there in the US, ticker MRO. But yeah, as we've seen in energy, like there's a lot of stocks due to the collapse in the oil price that have been absolutely left for dead um, over the past month or so, and Marathon Oil was no different. Dropped well below $4 a box from being well over 12, and that was the first sign that made us become interested in this stock. Why? Well, the stock's valuation dropped to under 0.3 of a book value. Now, if you don't know that what that means, it's just basically the stock's assets or the stock's equity was basically the market cap of the firm was only a third, and still is revolving around that area, a third of the price of the stock's equity. Okay, the stocks Marathon doesn't have a lot of liabilities because it doesn't hold any debt on its balance sheet, so the valuation was definitely good, especially when you compared it against other energy stocks. Very, very attractive valuation. And we always say whatever happens in any asset class or in any market, and this happened on Friday, Marathon Oil rallied 12%, but the price of oil collapsed well under $20 a barrel. So, that was a big divergence there. You see a 12% increase in the price of Marathon Oil shares and 12% decrease in the price of the commodity, and that's a big sign that that the bottom is in for this stock. And not just the valuation. We needed to make sure that the story was good. Like basically all energy companies in operating in upstream activities in shale plays in the US, they're going to have their earnings decimated this year. But who has the financial strength to withstand the downturn? That's why we look at the profitability metrics of Marathon. Its net profit came in at 9.5%. Its net profit margin, which was way ahead of the industry. So it's obviously, the company has obviously ran its operations in a very efficient manner and should be able to generate consistent cash flow to keep on paying for that dividend. And that's another reason why we like Marathon. It has now a record for a good few years of looking after its shareholders, buying back stock, which benefits shareholders, and also paying that dividend. And it's come out and said that they are priorities right now. It has built up a lot of financial strength over the past few years, and it wants to protect that. And that's very good news from a shareholder's point of view. I suppose the third thing which we looked at in terms of how we would basically put on long deltas, what we did is, instead of buying the stock outright, we sold put options. Okay, now you can see below on the implied volatility chart, implied volatility in Marathon spiked big time over the past month, which resulted in obviously the put option prices and call option prices really spiking. So the risk reward play was definitely not to buy stock, even though that would be a good long-term play also, but also to sell puts, because now that we're getting some traction in the oil price, and it's starting to happen already with the rally we had on Friday, that implied volatility is going to come down. Traders are going to be able to buy those puts back way cheaper, or even just leave them expire for full profit. So the play here was definitely selling those put options. And another big reason why we think the bottom is in for this stock is the volume numbers. Buying volume we even saw it with, like, basically in March, which was last month, obviously, you had an awful lot of insider buying in this stock around the $3.50 area, $4 area. And even though those transactions only came to about 600,000, less than a million, $1 million, they're still obviously, it still seemed to be piggybacking, so to speak, on the institutions, because if you look at the volume numbers, volume was really or has been really strong buying volume in this stock over the past few weeks, and it just goes to show you that crude oil could keep on dropping, could go below 15, but the bad news seems to be in now this for this stock, and it seems to be out there in the market now is pricing in even lower prices, and we saw that yesterday. So yeah, just want to do an update on that, and I'll see you on the next video.